Godfrey Mphatswe Foundation, it was motivated by when I started with Mr. SA Finalist, my journey as a finalist, when we were challenged to do tasks, and that's where Godfrey Mphatswe Foundation was born, because I had to deal with many initiatives like your charity homes and so on. So that's how it came about. And it became as a vehicle between struggle and try to elevate people and address people's needs, So that's how it came about. Yeah.
And now talk to us about your passion when it comes to the involvement in shedding a light in the albinism and disability.
Okay, that started in 2016. When as well I was on the Mr. South Africa platform, it gave me a lot of platform because it really challenges you and integrates you into the society, and we're tasked to do something that is unique and random acts of kindness, That's when through my modeling, like I was noticing that people with albinism are not really presented, It's like they're closed out in the modeling and fashion industry. Then I'm like, how about I incorporate a fashion show for people living with disability and albinism. That's when I came with the concept Master and Miss Albinism. It started as a fashion show in 2016. And then I was invited to Master and Miss Zimbabwe and Master and Miss Albinism Malawi. And I was like, why don't we have this thing at home? Because South Africa is taken as the New York of Africa, So it was like they're supposed to be following us in trends, but now it's the other way around, and it can't be like that. So we are late in doing ours, but yeah, it's now rolling.
It's Heritage Month, and during this time, we are sure to embrace our cultures. However, when it comes to the sense of embracing our beauty and the different shades of beauty, how would you say, how is it important in embracing our different genres of beauty? Because obviously with Mr. and with albinism, they're different in color, but right now we're at a point in the stage of integrating that. So how would you say your take is all about embracing beauty?
Embracing beauty, people must know that beauty is not only about our facial appearance, but it's our heart as well. And if you are beautiful at heart, it will just take that beauty outside, and everyone is beautiful. We just have to embrace that. And again, what you should know up here is Albinism Awareness Month. That's why we chose to as well release the finalist in this month. And really, we are complete with these people in our circle, because you can see them. They just emit the light. They are the light. So we need to incorporate them and run with this thing.
Absolutely. Now, through your journey working as a model, what would you say is still lacking within the modeling industry, and what can be that one thing that we could change?
Okay, what's lacking in modeling industry? I see us following the first world a lot. We want to be your New York Fashion Week. And as Africans, we are unique. We are unique, and we know we are gifted. We are curvaceous. We have big bodies. We have to embrace all those our body parts. Modeling is all about bringing the beauty out. So I don't understand why would you put a person on the ramp like with the skinny clothes and so on. And you have the market as well of any other body types. So it's high time that we should embrace all people and different kinds of bodies, and just embrace it and put out the space, and maybe stop following the first world and do our own here in South Africa or in Africa.
Absolutely. I absolutely love that. And we're at a point right now in life where we need to embrace everybody's body types and shapes and sizes. It's not just only about size 2, guys. Not all of us are size 2.
Exactly. We need to embrace those curvaceous body and be proud of ourselves. Exactly. You get a point.
Me, myself, and I. You're right.
Really?
And now
please.
let's talk about. Yeah.
Yes.
And now let's talk about youth entrepreneurship. What makes a successful entrepreneur?
Okay, I think it all starts by where you stay, by identifying the gaps, identify the gaps and see like, okay, this is how I can meet my community halfway. It starts just there. Because what I'm now seeing with entrepreneurs, we're copying each other. So you'll see this mama, by the taxi rank selling amagwinya, or fat cakes. So I'm gonna as well come with my corner-shaped, square-shaped guineas instead of me like bringing my coffee, my tea, and say, okay, if a PO is selling amagwinya, let me sell coffee. So people will buy amagwinya and come to me for coffee. But now instead we are competing with each other instead of like joining forces and say, okay, Apio has these skills, Godfrey has this set of skills. Let's join these skills together and together be successful entrepreneur. So I see a lot of that in South Africa. We are copying each other and wanting to compete with each other, instead of helping each other to get successful, So entrepreneurship it's a good thing, because we can as well be waiting for the government to always feed us, AMA 350s, which they run out and we don't know what happens to them. We have to do with ourselves. I think we are really born and created to do such, to create things with our own hands, and we are powerful and we can do it, and especially as Africa. We are so skilled, but it's just that we want to go to Umlungu, to go to this building and work there, sit for 8 hours and limiting ourselves. So it's about time that we should search within ourselves and really give birth to our talents. And we will feed ourselves and our families through that.
Absolutely. I absolutely love that, because collaboration is something that we need to kind of work towards instead of being competition with each other. And now, what kind of investments should one make when as an entrepreneur and as a businessman? Because I feel like a lot of times people go into, I want to become an entrepreneur, not knowing that it starts somewhere, not knowing that there's capital involved, not knowing that you need to build it up first and see that, okay, this is something lucrative and legit for me to step into. So what would you say, what investments would somebody who wants to become an entrepreneur should start?
Okay, really, when it comes to investment and capital, it's where it gets really, it's a struggle for us as Africans or South Africans, because if, like, let's say I'm a breadwinner or I'm coming from a family, no one is working there, even me, I'm not working, it becomes a struggle for me to even start, But then I think the most important thing here is like to speak to somebody that can invest in your dream. To just say, hey, can you please, let's say, like you speak to him and say, hey, can we please work on this? Maybe partner, with that person to be maybe even your silent partner, Let's say I want to start a business of selling what? Maybe magwinya, it's my favorite. Start a business of magwinya. So what you'll do, you can even speak to your brother, your neighbor, or anyone to say, hey, how about you lend me this? Or how can you maybe give me flour and I start this? Then with the profit, that's what you save towards the bigger dreams. Because even your wholesalers, they didn't start as like a big establishment. They started from even selling from home, then they took it to their tech shop, then it grew just like that. And as well as I'm saying, like partnership, collaborations are very important, because if Godfrey has 50 rand, Apio has 100 rand, you join that together, then you start very small and eventually growing into building something big. And the most important thing is discipline. You have to be disciplined with your money, and you'll grow, and you'll see miracles.
Goes to my next question. What kind of discipline would you say is needed when starting or building yourself as a brand and as an entrepreneur?
I think first you have to identify what you're all about. your weakness and your strengths. And you start working on those things before you can go into a space saying, okay, sometimes yes, you can have an idea, but then you don't know how to manage money.
Yes.
It starts there, building yourself in those kinds of fields. And after that, then that's when you go into the space and say, hey, I'm here, and be disciplined with your money. Know that this one is for stock. And after that, I'll be keeping this profit to move me to the next level. Don't like live with from hand to mouth, because then you won't grow.
Absolutely. And now, what advice would you give to upcoming entrepreneurs and future businessmen and women when starting their businesses?
Okay, the advice I can give, what I've really noticed, and especially in events and in the fashion industry, or in industries as broadly, you'll hire a person. You'll meet a person saying that, you say, I want to put tiles in my house or do house renovation. You hire that person, and it's your fellow black brother, you hire him because you want to empower them. Then the next thing, the person, when they're supposed to put tiles or whatever, they vanished. You give them deposit, then they vanish, or they're just lacking, or they don't really have those skills. So the first of thing, be responsible, and what you promise, what you give people, promise people, and give that, like fulfill your promise. You get a point. What I've seen as well with designers, you'll be going to a designer, say, I want this type of whatever. You'll agree on timelines and so on. Then last minute you want to fit and go to attend an event. The thing is not ready. So those are things that really kill our businesses. Because first of all, we have to be trustworthy and respect your customers. Then you'll go far. Because when I'm from designing from you, then I go out there, it's a word of mouth now. Saying I'm from Apiwe and he did this garment, and people will see it already, like, who did this for you? So if we can have that discipline, especially in South Africa, because I work with many people even from outside, and I see they're so disciplined, when coming to respecting people and as well honoring their promises. Yeah.
Absolutely. And what kind of change would you like to see when it comes to the youth of South Africa?
The change I'd like to see is like, we really need to stand on our feet, and don't expect everything from government. We can see that our government is already failing. They've been failing, and I guess as well, they can't really, we are a lot for them, So let's stand together with our feet and think, and collaborate, and we'll see, we'll conquer the world.
Absolutely, I absolutely love that. And now, lastly, where to from here for your future goals, your modeling initiatives? Where to from here for even your foundation?
Okay, well, so, currently I'm busy actually forging partnership with African countries. I really love Africa, and I feel like really I need to invest here in Africa, than just going internationally, and you get a point. So I'll start here in Africa. So I'm forging working relationship with them. I've been speaking to this other foundation in Nigeria. So we're working in some program, but that will be released as soon as it's ready. And what they really like is the partnership, and really how I work hard to be recognized by other African countries, because from each and every time they invite me to their initiative and so on, I'm actually going to Nigeria on the 30th of October to judge Mr. and Mr. Nigeria International. And then they said there's a big surprise there waiting for me. I don't know what is it, I'm anticipating that. And then from there, I'll be going to Zimbabwe to judge Mr. and Mr. Albinism Zimbabwe, So really, I'm about Africa for now, and forging relationship and partnerships.